Hi, my name is Harjot, co-founder and associate director of business development at TechHugo. Today we'll talk about what are the key pointers which we should take care while outsourcing the work to India. India is considered as one of the most sought-after country when it comes to outsourcing IT work. India is recognized as the world's largest outsourcing destinations for IT BPM industry, capturing around 50% of the world's outsourcing market. The IT industry accounted for 8% of India's GDP in 2020, and IT and BPM industry's revenue is estimated at $227 billion in financial year 2022, with an increase of 15.5% year-on-year. It all started way back in 1985 when US-based company Texas Instruments opened its office in Bangalore. Since then, numerous technologies and airline companies have followed this to cut down their cost and to look out for low-cost skilled talent. By 1996, this sector grew to little over $1.25 billion US. Many small firms like Infosys, TCS were right on the time when India was getting recognized as the trusted, recognized partner. These companies today have become large multinational and employ millions of people throughout the globe. One another primary reason for the boost in the outsourcing industry is India's low-cost, high-speed internet, which is one of the cheapest in the world and is almost free with smartphone penetration of almost 66%, which is poised to be 98% by 2035. However, with all the positives, India has a dark side to it, which is the reason why we wanted to make this video. India was ranked 79th out of 139 countries and jurisdictions in the World Justice Project Rule of Index 2021, which clearly means that you have to be cautious enough to avoid a legal battle, and hence this video will help you with what not to do while outsourcing your processes or development to India. Cost is considered to be the foremost reason why companies outsource to India. But put simply, the handling and the management of all these services internally involve a lot of additional costs. This cost can be in the form of hiring and training new staff, infrastructure facilities, and others. Whereas outsourcing the function to an external team may prevent you from any such additional labor and operational costs. Considering the costs in India depends on multiple reasons. Primarily, it depends on the years of experience the developer or the personnel being allocated on the product is of. A lot of companies tend to hire freshers, which surely brings down the cost, but so does the quality. So while chasing only cost as a factor to choose a company can sometimes end up with the substandard products which might be of no use. It is important to understand how much that job would have costed you if done locally, and then it needs to be compared with the companies in India. Comparing in India can often lead to comparing apple to oranges because of the variables involved. Another important factor for your product is time to market. Often while chasing cost, one forgets the time period, how much time it is taking to get the job done. At times, Indian companies tend to allocate shared resources wherein one developer is working on multiple products, and hence the time to market can be indefinitely high when it is compared to someone who is working dedicatedly on your product. It is very important to ask the company of their internal allocation policies and how many products would a developer have. However, most companies would always say that they have dedicated developers for your product, but seeing their timelines, you would know that it is not the case. Next, it is technology expertise. Technology has always been one of the major factors that affect the quality of the customer service delivered by you. Therefore, it is important to stay updated and verify with the service provider about the availability and access to the latest technology. The technology stack plays a major role in the costing and the time to market. You would not want to use an old technology for faster development, because support for the technology would deplete with time and you would be left with a product with an outdated technology. A lot of service providers use older technologies in order to save on the cost, and that becomes a business decision. If a technology, or maybe if an old technology at a cheaper price is a better option for the job at hand. It is also important to be sure about your choice, as opting for a technology that is available at a lower price might cost you high in terms of customer service and experience later. Whereas a technology that calls for a high investment today might lead to give you excellent results in the near future. Another key factor is flexibility. The biggest advantage of having an in-house team is flexibility, but it comes at a cost. Flexibility is something which every company offers, however, very few actually adhere to the flexibility one contemplates. Hence, it is important to know about the company by talking to their old clients. Ask them for the references and speak to their clients on their experience and how flexible and easy it was for them to communicate with the service provider. Last but not the least, security of IP. I'll take an example. We closed a contract with a Mauritius-based client who wanted us to develop a bespoke taxi system for Mauritius. Little later, we got to know that they had chosen another company 2 years back, which today sells taxi apps as SaaS model. And it came as a shock to the client that one of the competitors is using the same app. Supposedly, the company that created and signed NDA with client sold the same app to multiple people, creating more competition for you, and that too from your own money. So it is important to know what business the service provider is in for. If you see him selling apps at a cheaper price or maybe on SaaS model, remember, your idea is the next SaaS product, and you might end up competing with a lookalike product in your target market. Let's talk about one more important point: communication. India is not an English-speaking country. However, most of people do speak good English, but with a very heavy accent, which at times is hard for a US or maybe Europe citizen to understand. It is important for you to communicate with your point of contact before signing the contract, so that you are aware that the communication and transfer of ideas won't be a roadblock. These 6 pointers have been curated after talking to hundreds of customers and working for over 1,000 applications. And we realized that the world needs a video in order to set the right expectations when outsourcing their work to India. We hope this video gives you an idea of how you can choose an ideal service provider who is best for your job. I wish you all the best. For any query you might have, feel free to write to us. Thank you.